A first-of-its-kind study from BDO has looked into the link between business performance and well-being and found financial challenges have been a key driver of business people feeling less mentally healthy than normal over the past 6 months. I'm joined by BDO advisory partner Gina Cook to discuss the report. Gina, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks, Hamish.
So, interesting survey here, obviously a pretty interesting context to do something like this as well. What are some of the main top-level findings coming through as a result of the survey?
So we, I guess we're probably a little bit pleasantly surprised by some of the results coming through. The survey obviously looks at the WHO5, which is the World Health Organization criteria for wellbeing, and the result of that was 69 out of 100, which we thought was really good, and I think indicates probably a reflection of how resilient a lot of our business leaders are feeling or have been coming through, the last couple of years. So it's really, really good. Obviously, we'll track that over time, but it's a good starting point.
So is that does that sort of reflect that businesses were just well prepared for something like this? Obviously, we can never be well prepared for a pandemic, but were businesses pretty strong going into this broadly, and so they've just managed to hold up, or does it sort of reflect other things as well?
Look, I don't know that our survey can give all the answers to that question. There's certainly quite a lot of variability across various sectors. We were able to, because we got quite a large response, we got nearly 600 responses to our survey, we were able to slice and dice by quite a lot of the sectors that we look after. And I would say, to be expected, some of those sectors were on the low side, and some were doing pretty well, which is obviously, as an average, come out at that 69 out of 100. So I don't know that we could clearly say that everyone was, quite well prepared going into the pandemic, but at the point in time that they were surveyed, which was back at the tail end of May, certainly their wellbeing at that point in time, which was a reflection of how they've felt in the past couple of weeks, was relatively good.
In terms of the sector breakdown, I mean, which ones specifically were maybe faring a little worse than others at the moment?
So probably very unsurprisingly, the three that were really struggling and were the lowest in our survey were healthcare, retail and tourism, and they obviously probably the most impacted through COVID. So we weren't all that surprised to see that they had the lowest scores.
In terms of maybe how we've seen some businesses adapt as well, I mean, we've obviously all had to adapt to the last couple of years, but particularly with a focus on wellbeing, what are some of the things coming through that maybe have helped businesses adapt?
Well, I think those that, we did ask questions around, what people had been doing to help their well-being through this time, and some of the I guess the things that they had been doing is adopting more flexible work options, managing or trying to manage their boundaries a bit better through this period of time, and making sure that they can, as well as they can do, have really good financial processes in place to help them manage, any uncertainty that we're still facing.
You mentioned at the start as well, the overall score of 69 was probably a bit higher than you'd maybe anticipated. There also seems to be pretty strong optimism among some of the survey respondents as well. Can you just give a bit of colour as to what was found in terms of the outlook for people?
Yeah, I think we obviously asked them a series of questions. The WHO score obviously focuses on the past 2 weeks, but we overlaid that with questions about their business generally. And we asked obviously about how they've been feeling in the past 6 months, and also the 6 months the coming 6 months. And, we found that people felt relatively good about the coming 6 months. So that's a really good indicator that hopefully people are feeling that we're getting to the tail end of the impacts of COVID, and they're quite optimistic for, how they come out of this.
That said, I imagine you're still dealing with a few challenges for some clients as well. Still some
Oh,
reasons to be a little bit worried about what's ahead.
Absolutely, and I think we could probably look at the bottom three in our survey being tourism, retail, and health. Obviously, healthcare at the moment. We're seeing throughout the news that there's well-being within the health space is quite low at the moment. A struggling healthcare system. I think that's still got some ways to go. I don't think it's necessarily just a COVID thing. Tourism, hopefully we're going to see a bit of a rebound with the borders opening and more people coming in, but retail is still feeling it as well.
So overall then, I mean, what do you think is the main takeaway for business leaders, business owners? What are you telling your clients on the back of a survey such as this?
Well, I think it's when we went into this, we went in with a hypothesis that the well-being of your business, or how well your business is performing, has a correlation on personal well-being, and the survey has confirmed that there is a link. If we're looking at from a statistical point of view, if we got a score of 1, that would mean that there is a direct correlation. A score of 0 is no correlation at all. And the score that we got in our survey was, I think, just south of 0.7.
Right.
And 0.7 is a strong indicator that there's a very strong correlation between the two. And so we're so close to that. And so what we're taking from this is that some of the key things coming out of the report are that if people focusing on cash flow, good financial processes, those are the things that people find have really helped them or will help them have a better personal well-being. So we will be using this to, I guess, talk to our clients closer, especially in the industries that are suffering, taking the feedback from the report across those sectors, feeding that out to our sector groups to be able to have different conversations with our clients that are perhaps more targeted to what they're going through.
Gina, thanks very much for your time.
Not a problem. Thank you.